Hi, Collective. Happy Tuesday. I thought I'd come and do a read. It's kind of storming outside right now. No, something about it. I'm actually pretty glad it's been really hot, so it feels necessary. To be perfectly honest, feels necessary. I actually didn't have any exactly ideas of what I should be pulling on, but sometimes I'll uncover something under a rock that becomes talked about in the greater collective streams. So maybe as a element of grace and seeking and finding that, I'm a truth speaker, truth finder, and I like doing. So let's see. We got some aloha healing. We have Amara the Menahue. She's number 19, which is actually a 10. 'Cause 19 is really a 10. We also have a violet angel out here, number 23, who's the breaking dawn. So, there's that saying that it's the darkest before the dawn. So this one to come out upside down, which is Marie Masquerade, which was glamour, intrigue, and drama. But since it wanted to come out upside down, it's kind of giving me, so somebody who's been in this drama, been really going through it for a while, you are about to, you're it's been at the worst because it was like right before the break of day. But you're about to come into a new day, and you're in that breaking of the day, and this new day is going to bring you healing, which I love this. All right, now we're going to talk about healing and recovery. I love it. So many messages that are in so many channels are about all this backstabbing and karmic behavior, and it's like, all right, let's get to this healing. Yes, healing, yes. Can we just talk about recovery and moving past things? Ooh, we had the sea beacon fairies out here where it talks about guidance, but where will it lead you? And upside down. So part of this drama that you've been in is that somebody gave you some advice, but the advice you got from somebody was like the worst possible advice. And I don't know what's worse, what makes you feel worse between the fact that you were given bad advice or the fact that you believed it. And maybe that's where maybe you're not as angry with other people. Maybe you're just struggling with maybe you're maybe the person you're really having to deal with right now is yourself, because you just feel like, God, how could I be so stupid to listen to this person? How could I believe these people? But we all go through things like that. That's why it's called backstabbing, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure almost everybody has had somebody in their life that does something, and you think, wow, okay, I could expect this from this and this person, but from you, yeah, a tempting offer at a high price, because and this person may have been paid by somebody else to do this. It looks like, I don't know if they were paid money and or offered something else that they want and or doing it in exchange for another favor. uh they do stand to gain something. I mean, because how are you going to have in order for an offer to be tempting, it has to be offering you something that you either want or need, right? And then the fairy of the divine hand is here talking about having a distorted view and overindulging. So maybe, you know what? Here's the truth, collective. You know what? Maybe you were having an addiction or toxic attachment to some kind of habit, hobby There was something you're doing and you just couldn't stop doing it. You were just like obsessed with doing something. Somebody offered you some, and so like somebody, so what this offer probably was, this offer was going to give you a way to keep enabling this overindulgence that you have, whatever form that takes. I don't want to assume that it's necessarily drugs or alcohol. Like everybody assume goes straight to that, or sex or porn, but there's so many things we can be addicted to, right? Like the year my dad passed away, I ate my grief. And for a long time, I was self comforting through food. And so I went from being like barely 100 pounds and always super skinny and underweight to being like 140 and always looking like I was pregnant all the time. You know what I mean? And that transformation came when I started eating all my feelings after my dad passed away. And um and this is just an example. So like um and sometimes, ooh, and we have Kali out here. From death comes rebirth. All right, yes. And remember, I said this was coming to the end, and so now you're going. So, like, Kali is here, right? I like when she comes out in my readings because you know what? This girl's on my spirit team, and she rocks hardcore. You know what? I used to be. Oh, and at the bottom of the deck, we have be true to yourself. Yes. And then we're going to move to another deck. So, but real quick, I do just want to say, like, you know what? So, you know, generally speaking, for the most part, I've always gotten along with guys better than girls. And, like, but a lot of the guys that I've gotten along with the best end up having, like, really narcissistic tendencies. But my dad had a lot of narcissistic tendencies. But I was really close to my dad as a kid. So, like, um, and like, if you didn't grow up with a narcissist and then you run into a narcissist as an adult, you might be able to say, oh yeah, these are definitely red flags in people's behavior. But if you grow up with somebody like this, it just feels normal. It feels like it's familiar. It's familiar. Even when it's somebody brand new, it's so familiar. It makes you feel very comfortable. Which I don't know if that's the part that should make you feel alarmed or what. Be like, the fact that I am so comfortable, maybe I should like be like, is this something that, am I revisiting something that I should be moving away from? So I can like learn my lesson for once. But so I've met like a ton of like very narcissistic people, and you know, I don't want to blame them entirely because, clearly I had wounding, and, it's taken me a lot of realizing that there were things that were in me that I had to go and fix, so I can like stop attracting these kind of people. I mean, they're always going to be attracted to anybody, right? Yeah. Always tea time, repetition. Yeah. So, like, I feel like this repetition is talking about this over intoxication. So, like, there's something you're always doing. There's something. There's something that always happens, and it's either making you mad at somebody else or making you mad. So maybe like this habit, like it makes you hate yourself and are angry at yourself that you keep doing this and you can't stop doing it. But then this person who is giving you advice is somebody who knows that you had that problem, and instead of helping you to actually solve your problem, they were giving you advice so that they can make this offer to enable your problem so that they could use your. Okay, so this person was taking like your whatever this is and enabling you so that you'd be a flying monkey because they're the narcissist, and so they wanted to use you like a flying monkey to like do something for them. talks about immense effort and advancing, except you're not keeping up. So now, like, you can't keep up with whatever this was, you know. The spirit says, you know what, before you continue on down this path, you're being guided to just stop. You need to just take a moment and just stop. Don't freak out. You don't need to feel any kind of way about anything. Just stop. Just stop, 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 and pause. Because in the point of the stopping is just to pause. And just to be like, and I left this one in the box, which was nonsense, which is part of this deck. I'm surprised I didn't take this. And it says it's time to talk sense. So we have left our nonsense behind. Exactly. So, I feel like you're ready to move out of this karmic cycle and to move into something new for yourself, okay? Whoever these people are that's giving you this offer, who's trying to give you like this seemingly good guidance and advice, except it's not. People are guiding you so that you can stay the same person you've been, so they can continue to enjoy life. Like, in your social circle, these other people in your life see you as filling a certain kind of role within that group. And maybe they like to talk about you, and or maybe you're like the person who, like, everybody, like, when you're not there, everybody likes to talk about your addiction and or what you're not doing right in or something, and nobody's going to tell you that. Like, when you're there, they're all being nice and smiling in your face, but when they're all together and you're not there, then you're what they like to talk about. And so, like, but if you improve yourself and or disassociate from this group, then they lose that, because then nobody knows what's going on with you and there's no new stuff to talk about and everybody's bored. Yeah. So curiouser and curiouser. The other people, they feel curious. Oh, wow. Okay. So they feel curious and they're actually getting mad. Okay. So, like, by you entering into this season of healing and trying to leave behind this toxic, whatever this toxic addition hang up was for you. So because they're always wondering what's going on with you and they're trying to keep up with your business. And so they can't, and it's like making them mad because they don't know what's going on, you know? But you are stuck in this cycle of regret. But you're being guided because you know, and you actually may feel a little screwed over. So I bet whoever made you this promise to begin with, or this offer, they've made offers like this in the past, and somehow you never quite get what it is that they offer. And it kind of giving this feeling like they're trying to spin it so that it sounds like, oh, you misheard them. Oh, well, they didn't mean that it was going to be this thing at this time. That's just like a misunderstanding of the terms and conditions of this agreement. It's almost giving like this kind of Rumpelstiltskin kind of energy, which is kind of giving some devil energy, right? Because, like, the devil is a liar, right? And so he's really good at, like, when he cons people into stuff, he cons people with that Rumpelstiltskin energy, which is like, there's also like these clauses that nobody reads at the very, 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 very bottom, and fine print of a very long contract, and nobody wants to read that whole thing. So most people don't bother to scroll down to the very bottom where it also says, and per pro quo, blah, 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 these other little fine details, and that are not made obvious to you, but you still get binded to, right? And it kind of almost feels like the offer made to you by these people have that kind of energy to it, where it's like you're kind of, they're conning you to con somebody else, but you don't realize that what the reward you've been offered is actually a hollow reward. You are not, dude, bro, the cake is a lie, okay? The cake is a fucking lie. You're never going to get the cake. Do you know about, look, I haven't even played Portal, and everybody knows about, I think it was Portal, but the cake is a lie, where you keep being offered, well, if you complete this job, then we have some cake here at the office for you. And you're always like, in trying to complete missions so that you can get back and get some cake. Except you never get the cake. And that's what I feel like, whoever this message is for, it kind of feels like it's either somebody either in your family and or a close friend circle who's like, somebody's giving you advice and keeps making you offers, and they have, like, their intent, like, they may keep some of their promises and or give you some rewards, and what rewards they're giving you are specifically to enable you to keep having, like, they want you to keep this role, like the energy you're at in life. They actually, like, isn't, I don't know if they specifically want to see you suffer, but they definitely don't want to see you really actually fully improve yourself, you know? Like, they don't, it's kind of given this feeling like they don't even believe that you would improve yourself or you're capable of doing it. So they're just having fun with you because they can. And then this card, you can't go back to yesterday. So this is more of them being like, oh, well, you know, the past is in the past, because they don't want you to hold them accountable uh, for not holding the promise, keeping their promises from the past. So, but because it's been so much of this, it's making you feel blocked up because now you're caught up in these feelings, you know? And now you're starting to feel like, wow, all these people in my family are all nothing but crazies. Like you used to think that you were the one who was crazy, but the more you start to find out about things, you're like, you know what? I thought I was the one who's messed up, but maybe what seems so normal about everybody else is just like a collective trauma bond. Yeah, because there's rules in place that are not fair. So you remember I was saying how it feels like you think you're like getting the short end of the stick, and you feel like things are not fair to you. Yeah. So this card talks about falling and making change and gaining momentum, except you felt like you kept feeling like you should be gaining momentum and experiencing change in your life, because what about all these offers and all these people who keep saying, "Oh, this is going to happen and this is going to happen." But none of that ever happens. So maybe, yeah. And so the next one is set your course. So I feel like you're being told that instead of taking this advice, you need to stop listening to these people, stop taking their offers, because they're actually not here to help you. They are here to enable you. And let me tell you something, Kylie don't like trifling ass people, dude. Dude, she will come in, and dude, she is a headhunter, okay? If people are over here creating karmic problems for you while you're trying to ascend and get to a higher level of yourself and get onto these higher timelines, she'll come in and help you. You know, she's helpful that way. So a lot of people always see her as like a goddess of destruction, but it's actually rebirth and destruction. And people don't realize that, well, you know what? This destruction and creation are the exact same energy. It is the same energy that both ends and begins, that closes a cycle and opens a new one. It is the same energy. It is the same energy that brings death, that gives life. So if you're somebody who celebrates births of children and births of animals, then you should also just embrace this overall, hi Mimi, the circle of life. I didn't realize you were in here. When did you get in here? Did Naaman let you in? Come here. Do you want to sit over here? Mimi's over here. She chimed in when I started talking about. Mimi, do you want to come talk about the circle of life? Oh, did you chime in because I said the birth of baby animals? Mimi, is there baby animals outside? Is that? Oh, there's baby animals outside? What was it? Are they baby cats? They are. Are there baby rabbits? All right. Sorry. I don't know. Mimi want to talk. Well, if you want to talk, come over here because we're reading right now. You also have some nature communication. So, if you have a garden, indoor flowers, I'd recommend talking to them because you know what? Nature is alive and it'll listen to you. If you don't feel like there's anybody else in your life right now who's willing to listen to you, talk to your flowers because they will listen. And then you have also find the lesson. But if you ask me, this whole experience for you is supposed to be a wake up call so that you can realize that you have a problem and that the people you think are helping you are really just enabling you and not actually helping you. And that if you really want to grow and be what you can really be, you're going to have to break away from these people. Because these other people in your life, they have this follow the white rabbit versus curiosity meets opportunity. So like they're looking they're waiting for opportunities to continue this cycle with you, you know, which is kind of unfortunate. It's kind of giving that energy that you're like an entertainment to some people. Maybe they're like putting bets in on what you'll do in certain situations. Then you also have All in the Golden Afternoon, which normally talks about imagination and being creative, but it's upside down. So they feel crafty and creative about these little contests they're coming up with, and it's creating strange encounters for you to the point that you're not even sure who you really are anymore. But Spirit says you'll make it through this. Even though there's somebody, whoever is making the offers to you is like the ringleader in all this. But the results of this situation are forcing you to grow. But you're going to be of service to the animal world, and it's time for you to be sovereign and declare your freedom away from these people. You've passed the test. You've passed the test. You don't need to be, you know, usually painting the roses red talks about covering up errors, but I don't think you need to do that. You need to start learning how to be glad and how to find happiness in yourself, which I feel goes back to that healing. Remember where we saw the aloha healing? This card says no need to fear. So these people, they're trying to put fear into you so that they can manipulate you. But you're being guided to create your own life and have your own dreams. You know, you're being guided so that you can go have a life that's meaningful to you and that you don't need to be the brunt of everybody's jokes. Okay? You don't need to be a scapegoat. You don't need to be the joke. You don't need to be the entertainment for all these people. You know, you weren't born to be their entertainment. Why do you need to do that? Right? I was going to wrap it up and give you a whispering. I've been doing a lot of these whispering woods lately. I don't know. Ooh, what is this? Okay, so we have cleanse, which is wash your weary spirit clean, take a walk in the glades. And also for you, as I saw in here, this says be like the woods, calm, soothing, mysterious, and full of life. I think you're being guided to like get out in nature. I pulled those two out because they were just like really sticking out to me. So I take these and wrap it up. So you have caution, tread softly so as not to disturb the woodland floor. And you have growth. The tallest oak tree once started as a seedling. Don't be afraid to start something new. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You're going through a season of growth. You're being encouraged to have patience with yourself, patience as you transition. So you're transitioning out of a situation. And so it's like, it's been a lot because look at all these cards down here. So what's been going on with you? It's a lot. It's been a lot. Nobody's saying that it hasn't been a lot, okay? But it doesn't have to continue being a lot. if you don't put your foot down and/or separate yourself from these people, if you keep it trying to be how it's always been with these people, then these cycles will continue, because these people are watching for the opportunity to just create more of this because they enjoy it. Okay, whoever's behind this has some narcissism going on where they are enjoying your suffering, if you really want to get blunt about it. Okay, somebody is enjoying, like sure, okay, you, whatever this intoxication is, the overindulgence, whatever that is that you like, they know you like it, they're feeding into it, and at first it feels good because you're getting something that you enjoy, but also later on it's making you secretly hate yourself for keep being such a sucker for it. You know what I mean? So, like, when nobody else is around, when all these people go back to the rest of their lives, you're sitting there feeling bad about yourself because you keep going back to it. So, break the cycle, break the cycle. Um, the next time they offer and say, hey, what about this? You can be like, no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm just I'm doing a cleanse right now. I'm doing a cleanse. I'm going to go camping. I'm going to go get out into the woods. I'm going to go be with nature. I'm going to be in touch with myself. Mimi's over here crying. No, Mimi, I'm not letting you back outside. Stop it. No, stop. Come here. Do you want to come here? Do you want to come here? Do you want to say hi to the camera? We're wrapping up. Do you want to come say hi? Well, come over here if you want to say hi. I don't know, you guys. I don't know what's going on with Mimi, but she's like dying to go outside lately. She's not even supposed to be outside because our neighborhood doesn't allow cats outside. Like, they're not supposed to be out there unless they're on a harness. But she's been sneaky and like gotten out a few times. So now she wants to be able to be out there all the time. It's like, well, that's not our rules, bro. But yeah. Anyways, so you're being guided to move away from these people. I don't know if that means like move away, as in literally move like out of like distance wise, or just put space between you. But you're definitely being guided towards this. You definitely have people either in your friends or family circle who are perpetuating these karmic cycles you find yourself in. But I believe in you. You can do better than this, okay? You have a new cycle coming, and get into this new cycle. Leave the past behind because you're ready to heal. Let yourself be healed, okay? And we'll talk to you later.